Artificial intelligence. I mean, it's everywhere, right? It promises to change literally everything about our world. But let's cut through the hype for a second. What are its actual, real-world limits? Today, we're going to build a really simple framework to understand not just what AI is, but maybe more importantly, what it isn't.
You hear stuff like this all the time. This idea of a superintelligence that's going to solve every single problem. You know, like some kind of god in the machine. It's a really powerful vision, for sure, and it definitely captures the massive potential we all see in these systems. It's the ultimate sales pitch for AI.
But how real is it? Seriously, when we strip away all the science fiction stuff, what are the fundamental rules that govern the AI we actually have today, and the ones we're building for tomorrow? That's the real question we need to get to the bottom of.
And to get that answer, we've got to go back to basics. It really all starts with this fundamental difference between a mind and a machine. Yeah, on the surface, it might look like they're doing similar things, but deep down, the way they operate, they're from two completely different planets.
And here it is. This is the single most important idea in this entire explainer. If you only remember one thing, please make it this. Every single AI system, I don't care how powerful or how complex it seems, is a finite machine. It has rules, it has boundaries, it has limits. It is not boundless.
And this chart just breaks that down perfectly. You see, the human mind, what we're calling the boundless mind, it runs on things like common sense and actual understanding. We can think about stuff we've never even seen before. The finite machine, on the other hand, our AI, is an absolute master of pattern recognition. It's not thinking, it's doing incredibly complicated math and statistical analysis on all the data we fed.
So, this total dependence on data, well, it creates the first huge limitation, the data barrier. You can think of it like a hard wall that every single AI system, sooner or later, is going to run right into.
You've probably heard this old phrase from the computer world, garbage in, garbage out. Well, for AI, this isn't just a suggestion, it's like an iron law of physics. An AI cannot know a single thing that wasn't in its training data. So if that data is flawed, its output is going to be flawed. It has no other place to look for the truth. And the consequences of this are just huge. I mean, if you train an AI on historical data that's full of human bias, guess what? You're going to get biased results. If you show it something completely new, a real black swan event that's never happened before, it just short circuits because it has no past patterns to match. It's basically trapped inside the box of its own data.
Just look at a number like this, 175 billion. That's how many parameters, or little tuning knobs, are in just one large language model. It's a completely staggering number. But here's the crucial part. Every single one of those parameters was calculated based on data that already exists. It's like a huge, vast ocean of information, but it's an ocean that has a shoreline. It is not infinite.
Okay, so this leads us right into our second big idea, the concept of AI as a mimicry engine. This really gets to the heart of what an AI is actually doing when it seems so incredibly intelligent.
So let's just ask the question head on. We see an AI create this stunning piece of art or write a poem. It really feels creative. But is it? Is there actually an artist behind the curtain?
The answer, at least for now, is a pretty clear no. What it's really doing is a kind of super advanced mimicry. It has analyzed millions and millions of poems and images, identified all the statistical patterns that make them work, and now it's just recombining those patterns in a new way. It's an imitation, not an invention.
And this table really shows you how that works. A human artist feels something, like melancholy, and then creates with the intent to express that feeling. An AI, it just identifies the statistical patterns between the word melancholy and certain kinds of poetic words and structures. One is driven by purpose, the other is driven by probability. It's a fantastic remix, but it's not a revelation.
Okay, so knowing all of this, that AI is a finite machine, that it's completely tied to its data, and that it's a master mimic, what do we do with this knowledge? How do we start to think smarter about AI?
And let's be really, really clear about something. This is not about dismissing how powerful AI is. It's actually the opposite. Understanding the limits of any tool is always the first step to using it well. You wouldn't use a hammer to turn a screw, right? By seeing AI as a finite machine, we can finally apply its incredible power to the right kinds of problems.
So here's your practical takeaway. This is your toolkit. The very next time you see some big claim about a new AI, just ask these 3 critical questions. 1, what was the training data? That'll show you its potential biases right away. 2, is it truly understanding, or is it just matching patterns? That tells you what it can actually do. And 3, what are its specific, finite limits? That stops you from relying on it for the wrong things. This little toolkit will help you cut through the hype every single time.
And that brings us all the way back to the boundless mind. You know, like Einstein said, knowledge can be contained, it can be learned, it can even be replicated by a machine. But imagination, that ability to create something totally new out of thin air, to dream up a future that doesn't exist in any dataset, well, that's still uniquely human.
So I'll leave you with this final question.